Voyagers of Nera has been one of the most anticipated survival crafting games of the year, and it's easy to see why. Its stunning ocean and beautiful art style have already hooked players at first glance. But here's a catch. It's still in early access and it's in the very early stages of its life cycle. So is it worth diving into straight away or should you wait? Let me break down 5 things you need to know before you buy Voyagers of Nera. Hi friends, Bex here. And if you love all things Voyagers of Nera, then please give this a like and hit subscribe for more content. Right, let's get into it. Voyagers of Nera is a cooperative survival crafting game set in a magical ocean world filled with lost spirits, dangerous monsters, and endless ocean to explore. You'll sail to distant islands, gather resources, build villages, and even surf across the ocean, all with up to 10 players in co-op. Now, let's talk about the look of the game. Visually, Voyagers of Nera is stunning. It's gorgeous, colourful, and it feels very alive while you're playing it. It's not aiming for the hyper-realism, but rather a relaxing and magical atmosphere that goes hand in hand with the gameplay. Breaking down the core mechanics, it is a survival game at its core. Some mechanics, such as hunger, do need tweaking. Currently, as it stands, it's draining far too quickly, but the developers are aware of this and have stated they will balance this. Another mechanic is the boat sailing, which is your main transport around the world. It's amazing, but there are a few things that need work. Currently, it's built for 2 people, one who controls the speed and one who does the controls, basically left and right. Solo boat riding is more difficult and it's very tiresome. Other things like combat really do need work, as at the moment it's very simple and it's led people to be frustrated by its lack of complexity. As of the price, right now it's sitting on £19.99 with 20% off until the 30th of September. Full price is £24.99, this is in Great British pounds by the way. And considering the amount of charm, co-op potential, and upcoming updates as promised, it feels like it's a fair entry point if you're curious in diving into it early. When it comes to content of Voyagers of Nera, it offers more than you would expect for an early access title. The developers estimate currently you'll get anywhere from 15 to 30 hours of gameplay, depending on your playstyle. If you're someone who loves to explore every island, uncover every secret, or really invest in building something beautiful, you'll naturally spend more time. If you're sticking to the basics in single player, it might be closer to the lower end, whereas co-op sessions with friends can easily stretch further. That being said, it's worth noting that right now there isn't a new game plus mode or multiple distinct playthroughs like you'd find in something like Valheim. Once you've seen the core content, there isn't a huge incentive to restart a brand new run just yet. However, and this is important, the game does launch with 3 distinct biomes to explore, and the devs have already confirmed that more areas, creatures, and features will be added in future updates. So replayability is a little limited at the moment. The foundation is there, and the roadmap suggests a lot more to come, but we'll cover that in another section. Compared to other games that came out recently like RuneScape Dragon Wilds, which came out in early access, but it was a glorified demo to be honest, and most people completed it in a handful of hours. This game seems more polished with gameplay from the get-go. Voyagers of Nera is still in early access, and that can sometimes be a red flag for players. But here's why it's different. The developers are already proving they're committed to listening and improving. On launch week, we found out they will be pushing out a 2-week bug fix patch to tackle the most urgent issues players were reporting. They didn't just acknowledge the problems, they acted on them fast. Some companies should be sitting down and taking notes. And it doesn't stop there. In November, we'll be getting a really big quality of life update, getting storage, building, overall usability smoother, and then in winter, a major update is planned, introducing a brand new biome called the Sand Sea, along with new survival mechanics, enemies, weapons, armor, and even expanded spirit abilities. For an early access game, this is is a strong start. On top of the patches and the roadmap, the devs are incredibly active in their Discord community. They don't just pop in occasionally, they're constantly answering questions, responding to feedback, and even addressing the criticism openly, which is... it's super rare these days. Plus, they host regular live streams where they go into detail about upcoming features and directly discuss the concerns with the community. One of the big selling points of Voyagers of Nera is that it launched with dedicated servers right out of the gate. You can host the game with up to 10 players, and they've partnered with some of the biggest server providers like Xrealm, Gport, Nitrado, and Bisect Hosting. Full disclosure, I am partnered with Bisect Hosting, and I've even made a step-by-step guide on how to set up your own server with 25% off, which you'll find linked in the description if you need help on the guide. Now, here's where I need to be honest about the servers. The server system has a major drawback right now. When we launched our community server on stream, we had 8 players join in at once. We quickly realized that the progression is server-wide, not individual, like Enshrouded is currently. That means if one player advances in the story or completes a quest while you're offline, you may log in later and find that you've missed out on all of that content. To be fair, some things like the mini bosses in the game can be replayed, but some can't, and that is a huge problem. In practice, the system just doesn't work well for 10 players unless everyone logs in at the same time and plays at the same time. And let's be honest, that's really unrealistic for most groups. Personally, I'd say the sweet spot is around 4 players max, where you keep the progression tight, but you're not risking basically missing huge chunks of the game. The issue has been raised a lot by the community, and the developers have responded, saying that they're actively working on ways to improve how the progression works online. But as of right now, there's no timeline on when this fix will arrive. I have to be honest about this, it really was disappointing and heartbreaking to me, especially because I was really excited to run basically a large community server. But it's important to highlight that the devs are aware of this issue and they've been open and taken feedback on board. I've played Voyagers of Nera myself, and for the most part the performance was really good. I didn't experience any major frame drops, and visually the game runs quite smooth, especially considering it's in early access. That being said, there were bugs on day one, but again, it's early access. It gives the developers, some breathing room, so that's to be expected. I was running on an RTX 3080, and hopefully this helps you gauge the benchmarking. If you're okay with some rough edges, Voyagers of Nera delivers a visually appealing, relaxing, and mostly well-optimized experience right now. The developers have shown that they're listening, they're patching early bugs, streaming, and they're taking feedback also. So many of the flaws feel like things that will basically improve over time. The game right now is far from polished, so you have to expect bugs. If this is something that puts you off, I would advise holding off basically buying the game at the moment, and basically give it some more time to cook. Let the devs put out some more updates, and basically you'll have overall a more polished product. So, is Voyagers of Nera worth picking up right now? Honestly, it kind of depends what you're looking for. On the positive side, it's a beautiful survival crafting game with a magical art style, relaxing co-op gameplay, and a strong roadmap backed by a passionate dev team who are constantly engaging with the community. The fact that we're already seeing hotfixes, a quality of life patch on the way, and a brand new biome planned for winter, it kind of shows real commitment. But it's not without its flaws. Some quite big. Core mechanics like hunger and sailing still need tweaking. Combat is very basic at launch, and dedicated server progression system is a big stumbling block if you want to play with a large group of people. Performance is really solid on early access, but the bugs are still there. But for some people, this wouldn't be such a huge deal breaker. If you're excited to be part of the journey or just enjoy enjoy really chill survival games and you don't mind some rough edges, then Voyagers of Nera is offering a lot of charm and value for its price. But if you would prefer a more polished, complete experience, I would generally just wait a little bit longer and a few more updates and then have a little look at the game again. Either way, Voyagers of Nera is something quite special and I'm actually really rooting for it. What do you think? Will you be diving into Voyagers of Nera now? Or are you going to hold off until later? Let me know in the comments and don't forget to hit the like button and make sure you subscribe for more survival and crafting game content. Well, until next time, pals. Bye!